Stepping Razor, the art of war. This is the final program for this year. Even though we just start the program in November, yeah, we hope for big things for this program in the coming year, 2013. So, a couple months ago, them they do a survey about the religion, the different denominations in Jamaica, and them did I say like most of the youth them now a shift them thinking, and not only shift them thinking, but the two major denominations, Roman Catholic and Anglican, lose 20% of them followers, and them say the Seventh-day Adventist Church is the fastest rising church in terms of amount of people. And them also say Rasta, 20% more people are turned to Rasta in that survey. Now, why I mention this is this article we see where apparently Father Olang, I mean like Father Olang, you know, him are doing work and, you know, them wear the food for the poor and him doing stage show and him are going good. Apparently, Father Olang asks a question, do Adventists hate Catholics? Do Adventists hate Catholics? And then some Adventist man come out and say, not even sinners we hate. The Jamaica Seventh-day Adventist head ball out say, not even sinners we hate. So, what I'm trying to say is that, I mean, I take up for Father Olang, but me just say Father Olang is a very nice man. I find him to be a very nice man. Yes. And the 7th-day, as the fastest rising religion, denomination in Jamaica, it's really hypocritical for the head of the, well, hate is a very strong word. Not even sinners we hate. I don't know what somebody mean when them say them not hate sinners, even though I can understand why him would want to say that, but him really a kind of want to contradict Father Olang question, do Adventists hate Catholics? I want the people them know say, the first time I hear say the Pope are the devil, as some 7 day me hear it from. You understand? So me don't know how much hate because the Pope supposed to be the supreme authority of the Roman Catholic Church. And if you have a doctrine was centered round the head of the Roman Catholic Church as the epitome of evil, something is intrinsically wrong if you come out now and I say not evil sinners we hate. Because over the years, it is the Seventh-day Adventist Church that has had the most anti-Roman Catholic sentiments. It's so anti-Roman Catholic that a lot of the ideas where Rasta have, them do Rasta, only Rasta don't even know say a true 7 day why them are said. Because even the translation of Revelation 13, we say the mark of the beast, no, not that the beast is a man and his number is 666. And it also I tell you about the mother of harlots. It's really a woman named White who apparently is the beginner, if there's such a word, of the 7 day movement. Come out with this doctrine that the papacy is the foundation of evil, is the foundation of, this is where the devil go and rise up. The vicar of Christ, the man who have upon him forehead the number 666, and them say if you translate the Latin with upon the vicar's crown, it translates 666, and 666 supposed to be now the manifestation of Lucifer per earth. Now, you are more propaganda against a group of people than the 7 day them where them against the Roman Catholics. Because me I say a whole heap of people have the Pope, not because of any serious thing where them know the Pope though, but because of a doctrine over the years where say the papacy is the center of Satan kingdom upon earth. and the Roman Catholic priest asks the question, really, do Adventists hate Catholics? I would say yes. Adventists hate Catholics. Even though the man had said something different and also we don't have to eat sinners. But if you over the years have preach, say the head, the papacy in a Rome is the devil incarnated per earth. What is it that you know come say, evil hate sinners? Really and truly. Some clarification need to make this all. Really. Because most of the doctrine of Seventh-day Adventists, apart from keeping the Sabbath, and most Seventh-day I know is vegetarians, but most of them doctrine is centered around the revelation of the mother of harlot in the earth, in the form of the head of the Roman Catholic Church. So, you think say Father how long no know say this rising denomination in Christianity is preaching against the head of his church outwardly? Because I hear that the Pope is the devil through the Roman Catholic Church. And when them say the Pope, they talk about the authority will lie within the Pope, the papacy, according to what them call it, the papacy. Yes, still we know that over the years, so much different people has been branded 666, the mark of the beast. We know in history that Nero, when them say Negro fiddled while Rome burned, was record. As a matter of fact, Ronald Reagan, when them translate him name, the 6 letters, them 666 in the MDM, them used to say him is the mark of the beast too. So much different, just like how them the end of the world thing come round. Every minute you hear somebody say the world are going to end, the world at the end. It's same way the church develop certain doctrine will catch certain eyes. And when them translate it biblically, there's no way them can say, you can't say no go so. Because everybody have a different way to translate this thing, For suit film only corner. You understand? And the Bible transcend all translations because so many people come over the years and translate. And it's still there as a book with the same words every night over the years. And people just take them and use them and accuse it and abuse it and refuse it and do all sort of things. So we don't want the 7-day people them go on like them a play hypocrite against the Roman Catholic Church. The 7-day in Jamaica and all over the world preach that the head of the Roman Catholic Church, the papacy, is the devil incarnate per earth. Yes, tell them say Muta.muta said that on the radio. Over the years, the Pope is the manifestation of the ultimate evil according to 7-day doctrine through a woman named Miss White. When I did that read and I try to find out certain things, we read a book named Daniel and the Revelation, written by 7-day people. And them all them prophecies and philosophies head towards Rome. There was a man named Martin Luther who become not Martin Luther King, Martin Luther the German, who became what we call the Protestant leader, who lick out against Rome and become and protest against Rome and become Protestant, just like Henry VIII, because the Pope never want annul him marriage to one of his wife them. The Pope said him want declare annulment against his wife. And the Pope said no. And him just say, watch you know, women are not in a Pope. And him just break away from the Pope and just form the Anglican Church. And now the Anglican Church is the Church of England. And then now you have 7-day Jehovah's Witness, all sort of denominations within Christianity. And now them say 7-day is the fastest rising denomination in Christianity in Jamaica. Yet still, over the years, the 7-day them say, and if you never know that, tell them say, miss it so. The 7-day them has always said that the head of the Roman Catholic Church under the papacy is the incarnation of the beast that Revelation speak of when it says, mark the number, mark the man, because this man is a beast. Sorry, the beast is a man, and his number is 666. Those who have eyes to see, let him see. Those who have ears to hear, let him hear. Because this beast is a man, and his number is 666. And the 70 of them always refer you to the titles of the popes of Rome. And them say, when you translate the Vicar of Christ written on the popes, whatsoever, him wear upon him head, it is 666, and him is the mother of all that, the papacy. So, confusion in a Rome.
Hi, Muta.
Yes, sir.
How you do?
Me I do, man.
All right. I hear you talking about the Seventh-day Adventist Church earlier and the influence that the Seventh-day Adventist Church have on Rasta.
Yeah, in terms of the thing about the Pope, yeah.
In terms of the thing about the Pope.
Mm-hmm.
And I once heard, I heard Ziggy Marley make a statement one day. He said people not leave Rasta and turn to any other religion. Because after you experience Rasta, you can go back to no other religion because your eye open to greater realities.
Oh, yeah?
Right, I hear him say something like that one day.
Something like that or that? Which one?
Well, I'm not quoting him word for word, but it's essentially the same thing.
Okay, all right.
All right. I have a challenge, you see, because I did some research.
Who you challenge?
Never challenge with the whole of the religion and the religion that we know as Christianity.
Okay.
Because I did some research and I found out that over 300 years after Christ died, Constantine I institutionalized religion.
You mean Christianity?
Christianity, sorry.
Yeah.
And what has come out of that is that a lot of what we have and a lot of what we know as Christianity
come out of Rome.
Definitely. And the Roman Catholic Church.
Definitely.
Right? And then as a response to the Roman Catholic Church, but you see, Constantine himself was not a Christian, until his deathbed.
Yeah.
So it was something that worked for him because he wanted a religion that helped to control the people and build his empire. And he built the biggest empire ever prior to that. Right? Now, to say that is not to say that what he established was wrong. Only to say that it was institutionalized by him and by the Roman Catholic Church. Yeah. Now, when I talk to Seventh-day Adventists, I'm surprised because Seventh-day Adventists is the fastest growing church. But I want to tell you the next fastest growing religion that we're going to have in Jamaica is the Muslims. Why? Because a whole heap of money are pouring at the Muslim church, the Muslim religion right now.
Well, at the moment in time, as the base up of where the analysts them say 20% of the people them leave Roman Catholic and Anglican. And them said the fastest rising denomination is 70, and them said 20%. Rasta have gained 20% more people following Rasta. That is what them say. I don't know if it's true, but it's that them say. So where you say now?
All right. People, one of the places is also the Seventh-day Adventist Church. I call in on my cell phone and I'm moving, so I don't know if I'm breaking up.
Yeah, break up.
I break up, Lord.
But go and talk till you broke up, man. That's how it go. Broke up.
All right.
Yeah.
Any church where say a whole heap of money are pouring into, I find, and I'm being very honest, I find that those are the fastest growing churches.
Yeah, but Roman Catholic Church have the most money and the most.
But them not spend as much as the Seventh-day Adventist.
Well, maybe them are give out too much.
Them are hold on for what them have.
Maybe them are give out too much because really and truly, when you look at what Roman Catholic do, it surpass more than where most of the church them are do. To be honest with you, it's true.
But them not doing it in an individualized way. Them are doing it in a more collective way.
Well, that's the best way to do it.
Right.
Yes.
Now, And then the Muslim religion, they're not a church. I don't know how.
All right, so where the 7 day where the 7 day them might do for you say money are poor in it?
All right. When we look at Jesus Christ, right? Jesus Christ was referred to as the Son of God and the Son of Man.
But how we reach at Jesus and the money we are talking about with the 7 day?
Well, let me tell you why I'm talking. Right? Now, Jesus Christ was referred to. And if we decide that the Bible describes Jesus Christ as the second Adam, and we go right back to the beginning of the Bible, to Adam.
Remember, I know your program this, you know. So we have to talk cohesive. We are talking about the 7 day and the money.
And I'm talking about money.
But you're going to Adam, you know. You're going to Adam 6,000 years ago.
All right. The Seventh-day Adventist Church don't believe in the spiritual man.
Why you say that?
But they don't believe in the development of the spiritual man.
Why you say that?
Right?
Why you say that?
Because a lot of their teachings tell you that it is not the spiritual man that they focus on, it's the physical man. Okay. And I will ask you to ask any Seventh-day Adventist to come on to your program.
No, I'm not saying wrong. I just ask you why you say that.
Right, because that is essentially what the teaching is about. It's about the physical man. They move away from the development of the spiritual man. But
at what period did they move from it?
Well, Muta,
you don't know.
I have to get that information and get back to you. But I do know that they don't believe in the development of the spiritual man. Right? So when I hear that the Seventh-day Adventist is the fastest developing church, man will never come into his own, which is why I brought in Adam and Jesus Christ, because the Bible tells us Jesus is the second Adam. Jesus said, the things I do, you shall do also. Man will never come into his true self until he develop in spiritual nature. Okay.
And the 7 day them not do that?
And the 7 day don't believe
So which denomination I do that?
Which denomination is it? Well, that is why I went back to Constantine to tell you why the church was set up the way it was set up.
So Roman Catholicism deal with the spiritual side?
Roman Catholic Church deal with it to an aspect of it, but the Roman Catholic Church was never intended to develop man. None of the churches, none of the religions, you know. That's why they tell you that even when they see Africans doing the spiritual side, developing the spiritual side, they call it Obi and outlight, you know.
Yeah, them still Obi still outlight in
that is where man's true strength come from.
Okay.
The development, man is a trinity, you know, the mind, the body, and the spirit. Yeah. Just like how we talk about God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Spirit.
So which part of the soul then are that? Can we people talk about the soul too? Which part of the soul then?
Mind, the body, and the soul. Some people call it the soul, some people call it the spirit.
Oh, so the spirit and the soul are the same thing?
The spirit and the soul is the same.
Okay, all right, sir.
Right? And then what we do is we don't develop the mind. We develop the mind in school, we develop the body in the physical aspect, but we don't develop the spiritual man. And what has been happening is that whenever there were attempts to develop the spiritual man, they have been constantly, them outlied, them call it all kind of things.
Yeah, but the Christian, them are listening, you know, I say, foolishness attack, because the whole ideology of Christianity is centered around the spirit, and the spirit of Jesus Christ, and the spirit that will be made manifest in the days to come. After, you know, when you believe in Jesus Christ, the spirit will go into heaven.
We talk about the spirit, but we have never tried to develop the spiritual man.
So what we need to develop it? Well, how you develop the spirit?
How you develop the spiritual man?
How you develop it?
This Muta moving, you see, and I feel like I'm going into a body area right now. If I do that,
in a body area now, when you talk about what you say, so I don't know.
Notwithstanding all of that, you know something? Once I did a little research on both the Jehovah's Witnesses and the Seventh-day Adventists.
Yes.
And I have the papers, but I'm not sure if it's in Georgia or it's here. I don't think it's here because I don't have all my papers here. You know, it was started by two scoundrels who had to run from the United States because they had swindled so many people in the West, and they came east and they did the same thing. So they end up, I think, it's either in Switzerland or one of those places. It was two men. I shouldn't call them gentlemen.
Yeah.
And so this person you spoke about, White, she now took it up years later, I think about 50 or 4. I can't remember the whole story.
And
she created a doctrine, which they didn't have at the beginning of the whole thing. It was more like a, what you call it, you know, those kinds of people who swindle people by making certain assertions, and then just moving on and taking people money. That's what had happened. And the United States was going after them, so they left the United States.
And where they went?
I think it's Switzerland. My memory is not that good anymore, but somehow Switzerland is in my head.
Well, is Miss White give them the doctrine, the 7 day? Who give the Jehovah's Witness them doctrine?
I think it was the same two guys, and then they broke away from each other. One propagating the 7-day Adventist, and the other one continuing with the Jehovah's Witness part of it. So I think it was the same. I'm going to look it up and see if I have it here. If I don't have it here, when I bring my things down, I'll try and get it to you. But the point about it is that these splinter groups from the
Roman Catholicism.
You know that Catholicism is not the original religion, right? Most of it is borrowed. Everything, even the Virgin story and all of that is borrowed from the ancient Egyptian worship system. All right, and then because they couldn't rule the people, they couldn't get them to stop believing in these things. What they did, the person who mentioned about the council in Nicaea, which created what we now have as a major religion. You had to either believe when they created the Trinity, because the Holy Ghost is the woman, as most people may not know. They had to remove the woman out of it because it became Europeanized. Europeans are patrilineal and patriarchal, and so women have no place other than to produce children and so on and so on. They are property, or during that time they were property. So that's why we have the bent on women being harlots and all of that. If you look in the Septuagint, you will not find that happening, because I don't think it had changed that to the patrilineal thing yet, or patriarchal thing yet.
Well, one of the things with Rome is that one of the reasons for the advancement of Christianity in Rome was to suppress the ISIS movement.
Exactly. Remember, the last church of ISIS is in Paris. That's Paris. The word Paris. That's what it is. It means ISIS. And the last temple is Sokokur, the big cathedral in. I haven't been to Paris, but I learned that in school. The big cathedral in Sokokur was the last place you could worship ISIS in Europe, and that's way down in the 80s.
That is how the Christianity was raised up. So don't press the ISIS movement, which was the power of the female energy in that movement. So we know that.
And because of that, this is what again. Let me offshoot. People talk about Islam as if it's a foreign thing. Islam is a daughter of Christianity. Because Christianity is a daughter of Hebrewism, which had become corrupted by the leaders. And the same thing happened when Christianity took over. They became corrupted too, because they moved it from Constantinople, which is mostly in the east, where Christianity started, and moved it to Rome because they couldn't control it over that side. And they killed off most of the bishops during the Nicene thing. And most of them ran into Egypt and went as far down as Ethiopia. That's why you have the Hermetic groups in Ethiopia, as well as the Coptics in Egypt, because they are the runaways who just escaped before they got taken out. But people don't know the history, and so they gravitate and hold on and make things like it's in stone. But nothing is in stone, because it changes over a period.
Of course.
Slavery wasn't in the Bible until slavery time, when King James wrote it in there.
Yes.
If you look at the previous one, the Wycliffe and all the others, you didn't see what you now see in the King James Version, which is what I don't follow it, but we, the people of the West, follow that particular doctrine. Not knowing that it was because they needed to make good look good. Justify.
All right, Mama, we have to move.
All right, darling. Thank you so much. As I say, you teach what we call critical thinking 101. Keep doing it, because it's necessary for us to learn. Okay? God bless you.
All right, blessed. Yes. Stepping razor, just for your information. You know that, this is the season for talk about these things too, but every Christian holiday or have its genesis in Rome. It's ironical that the man who most Christians believe in never been to Rome, was in a little place, very obscure place geographically. But when Rome took over the religion. It mastered the religion to the point where every religious holiday that we celebrate in the West here, that is based upon a Christian thinking, is embedded in Rome. The months of the year, the days of the week is all Roman. There was a time when Rome was a superpower just like America. It's very difficult for we understand that because we live in a different dispensation and now in a different time. But same like how you say America run the world now. It's the same way Rome used to run the world. The difference is that Rome was so colonialistic that whenever it colonized a place, it started to change the culture and the behavior of the people them, not only forcefully but psychologically, to the point where you start to accept Roman ideas and principles as yours and it become you. So we have to understand how we as people now get caught in the Romanization. That's why they call it Roman Catholic. For a black person to say them is a Roman Catholic, what you're actually saying is that you're a universal Roman. That is what it really means, you know. Roman Catholic, the word Catholic means universal. You're a universal Roman. That means you are under the wings of the Vatican, the smallest country in the world, but is the richest country in the world. And this country is within a state, Rome, which is also in a next country we call Italy, which is also in a continent which is called Europe. Isn't it ironical that the largest denomination in Christianity is operated from the smallest little point in a place named the Vatican City? And most of our belief system is based upon these ideas that came from these men that sit in Rome.
Yes.
Yes.
Muta?
Yes, sir.
How are you doing?
I'm doing one.
I just wanted to call in and say I really enjoy your program.
Give thanks.
Just comment on the thing you mentioned about the Adventist Church and
yes.
And the
Roman Catholic Church.
Roman Catholic. I think we reach a time in our evolution as black people where we need to look at this thing as a supermarket.
Mm-hmm.
So, in other words, instead of having the different denominational, you are Adventist, me are Jehovah's Witness, I think we need to look at it more so as what good can I get from the different organizations. So, for instance, Adventists emphasize a plant-based diet.
Yes.
That is something we can hold on to.
Yeah.
Rastafari emphasize African identity and importance and how we must know, say, Africa for Africans and Marcus Garvey philosophy.
Yeah.
I think we need to flip the thing. Like right now, it's kind of negative.
You go shop. It's a shop for work can suit you.
Yeah.
In the supermarket. Yeah.
But we treat the thing as a supermarket where take the good of what everybody has to offer. We can flip the reality and recognize, say, look, we have to be malleable now. We're thinking.
Yeah.
It can't be hard. If me a Adventist, me only can listen to what Adventist say.
Yeah.
If me a Rasta man, me only can listen to what Rasta man say.
Yeah.
No, you take what is in your best interest, is what is in your people's interest.
Yeah. That's what you're supposed to do.
Other quick point me want to make is the last week, your guy, the same thing was talking about a truth being a lie, and it was
if the truth if you keep repeating the truth, it become lie. If you keep repeating the lie, it become true.
Right. Well, one of the things I wanted to say is what you are doing now is a step in the right direction.
Okay.
Because what happened is, the people that control the airwaves, and I think you mentioned this, the people that control the airwaves, they have a lot to do with the psyche of the masses.
Of course.
And I think
more than anybody else.
More than anybody else.
Yes.
And I think when people are given this great responsibility to
to speak to such a large audience. They need to be responsible with it.
Of course.
And so programs like yours that can put a consciousness and just drop a seed. That is all. We don't want no negativity. We don't want no negativity right now.
Yeah.
We need black people focus.
Yes.
You understand what I say? And like me I say, look on the different religion them. Every single one of them, every single entity have something you can learn and you can embrace.
Yes.
Forget about if something what them I say no make no sense.
Just throw with that. Yeah.
But what them have what in your best interest, you can latch on to it, embrace it as long as it can make you and your community better.
Stronger. I agree with you. Give thanks, brethren. Yes, it's a serious thing, the version at